Hello, this is Lady Boule, and I hope you're having a marvelous day. Thank you for your support. Thank you for subscribing to the channel. Thank you for your thumbs up, for your comments, and thank you for sharing the videos. Thank you for all you do to support the channel. Well, it's starting to get embarrassing out here for Black celebrities, athletes, and entertainers, and people like that. It seems like every other day or so, they're out here apologizing for something that seems like something small, a small infraction that maybe could be overlooked or not even brought to the public square at all. But now they're saying things that people don't like, and they're having their money taken away, and they're being threatened with losing sponsorships and endorsements and contracts and things. And it's starting to look really bad for Black men in particular. Although Whoopi Goldberg had a taste of it too last year. She had to go on an apology tour and was suspended from her job and made to look somewhat embarrassing in the public for saying something that a lot of us were thinking and really weren't thinking that it was offensive. So these Black celebrities are being busted in public and made to look like mischievous children. So the reason for this, the reason people are able to do these public takedowns of African American men is because African American men are making deals with these people, and these people are basically buying your voice and your behavior. So to be independent, you have to stop taking these people's money. You really have to learn another way to be independent. I find it interesting that some Black people are trying to compare what's happening with these celebrities with slavery time buck breaking, where Black men were humiliated and embarrassed in front of Black women and children in order to beat them into submission. Now this is a variation of that, but it is not the same thing. These people are entering these contracts with these people, these big companies, these people who control these financial institutions and other big time operations. They're doing that because they want to. Some of them have started out doing one thing and then they veer off into these other things where they can make more money and gain more access. Nobody's forcing them to do that. They're doing it because they want to. But when they do that, you're taking other people's money. There are conditions that come with you taking these people's money. It is not the same as slavery time buck breaking. And how much money is enough money? Some of these people have tens of millions, if not hundreds of millions of dollars. In the case of Kanye West, billions. That is, if you can believe the internet's financial reports. But I think it's fairly well confirmed that these people have a lot of money, and yet they are not able to speak freely. That is quite astounding. You have all the money that you will ever need, but you don't have freedom of speech. At this point, we can call the roll. It's probably been happening all the time, but more recently, it's becoming so prevalent that now we can keep track of these celebrities that's getting this big smackdown. It started with Nick Cannon saying something. He thought he knew what he was talking about. He didn't know, apparently, that he didn't own Wilding Out, a TV show that was his original concept. And then he was saying he was the boss and he could say what he wanted to. The next thing we knew, the people said, you need to read the fine print. You don't own Wilding Out. Now, we need an apology from you, and you need to go and get some training so you'll know what to say. So he had to do that. He had to go on a big apology tour, pay some money, and be taught what to say. And then the next time, it was Whoopi Goldberg. She said something that everybody kind of agreed with. But the people who are paying her didn't agree with it. And they told her, you're going to have to apologize and we're going to have to suspend you so you can get some training about what you need to say. So she had a big embarrassment. Then comes Kanye West, and nobody was really surprised about him. But he went all out with it, and he just was going to say what he had to say because he's a creative genius. Well, the next thing we knew, they had snatched him back so that he's no longer a billionaire. And he has to go on a big apology tour. and he has lost his money and his business and his contacts and his endorsements. Okay? Then comes Kyrie Irving, who tweeted something that the people who pay him didn't like. And he thought, well, I don't stand my ground because I haven't done anything and I didn't do this and a blah, blah, blah. And the people said, you need to go back and read the fine print. So then we have a big apology from him and he's suspended. And I just read something a few minutes ago. Jalen Rose asked a question about the woman who had accused Amy Udoka, and now he's having to go on a big apology tour. I don't think that people are mistreating these black celebrities. I really don't. Because we know what black women say to their children. Take my money, take my mouth. If you don't want to know what I have to say, stay out of my pocketbook. But these people are saying, you take my money, you shut your mouth. You say what I want you to say. It's at a point now where these black celebrities who have all these endorsements and all of these contracts with these companies to make more money, they need to submit to the people who are paying them what they want to say and have people proofread and edit it so that when they come before the public, they're not going to say something that's going to be offensive to the people that are paying them. If you want to be independent, you have to stop taking these people's money. The love of money is the root of all evil. Everybody that's been mentioned had enough money already that would last them for the rest of their lives. But they want more money. They want more access. They want big endorsements. They want all the money that they can make. And you can get that money, but you have to shut your mouth. And so I'm saying, don't you try to be a spokesperson for black people. You can speak what you want to speak for yourself and get embarrassed if you want to. But it's embarrassing to black people to keep seeing these people that have been elevated. Now, they're not leaders, but they've been elevated in the public to seem like a spokesperson of some sort. And the okie doke that's being played on the black public is that they'll put these people on TV, give them a mic, and every time something comes up, they're going to ask them what they think. And that is supposed to influence what the majority of black people think. But what they think has to be consistent with what the people think who are paying them. So this is sort of an okie doke. We're going to influence how black Americans think by paying these people and make it seem like what they're thinking and saying is very important. But what they're thinking and saying had better be in line with what we want them to think and say. And that is how come we have to ignore these people. They're just celebrities. We have to really, really wean ourselves off this celebrity high because they don't have any control over what they say or over their behavior. And they really need to stop it because they're not helping black people and they're embarrassing themselves. Because when you take people's money, when you take their money, you cannot be independent. And that's just the bottom line. And that's a cautionary tale for black people. This is what we have to keep in mind. The scripture says the love of money is the root of all evil. Not money, but the love of money. You make your money, you shut your mouth. And then when you go off in the sunset and you have your money secure, then maybe you can speak your truth. My advice to any of these people would be just be quiet. Make the money, support programs who support what you believe in, but stop talking. Because you don't own yourself. You are bought and paid for. And it's not wrong for them to say, I will give you this for this, but you're going to have to shut your mouth and not make me look bad. Because these people apparently think these black celebrities are making them look bad. For those familiar with scripture, this reminds you of when Jesus was in the wilderness being tempted by Satan. Satan put a number of challenges before him, trying to get him to denounce God and bow down to him. Finally, he took him up into a high mountain and showed him all of the splendor of the world and told him, I will give you all of this if you will bow down and worship me. At which point Jesus told him to get behind me, Satan, because Jesus knew what the mission was. But that's what this is. These people are saying, I will give you all the money, all the access, all the endorsements, all the sponsorship, and I will introduce you to even more people who can give you more things. But you have got to do what I say. So the person who is in charge of the purse string is setting the conditions for what you have to do if you want to get their money. And if you want to be independent, then you stop taking their money. And I'll just say this as a point of reference. We still keep trying to forget that we are in the land of our captivity. Our labor has been exploited. Our voices have been quieted. Our bodies have been used and abused. And we have been stripped down to 3/5 of a person. That's what has happened to us in the land of our captivity. We're still standing, which is good, but people still haven't forgotten the original purpose for which we were brought here, and they haven't forgotten where we came from either. They haven't forgotten the control that they had over us, and they do not want to relinquish that control. And we are so quick to jump in bed, so to speak, with other people. We're so quick to try to forget who we are and where we have come from. So we take our gifts, and instead of nurturing our talents and gifts and marketing them in the way that we would want them to be marketed so that we could retain control over our product and have independence of speech and mind, we sell them off to the highest bidder. You're selling your skills and talents off to the highest bidder. So now you've sold out. You have sold out. And now you want to turn around and tell the person that you just sold your soul to that you're a boss, that you're independent, that you have freedom of speech. Well, guess what? No, you do not. You just sold all of that when you sold your soul to that person, or you sold your gifts and your talents to that person or to that corporation. Nick Cannon, Kanye West, and Kyrie Irving are trying to use scripture to back up what they're trying to do, but they haven't been properly taught. Now, based on what I'm hearing them trying to do, they haven't been taught enough about the scripture to use the scripture as a defense for what they're trying to do. So to me, a lot of what they're doing is just arrogance. And for me, I don't see any big act of bravery that they're exhibiting. I know some people do, but I really don't. If you're going to live by the scripture, then live by the scripture. But you don't try to mix the scripture in with the worldly living, the things that you're doing. You're not really living by the scripture. You're just trying to use the scripture. And I think that's inappropriate. And so I don't think these people are wrong to say, take my money and shut your mouth. I'm financing you. You do what I say. And the bottom line is, you can't be independent because you're taking these people's money. You are bought and paid for. Accept it and close your mouth. Okay, y'all, let me know what you think about this. Thank you for listening. Subscribe to the channel. Give me a thumbs up. Leave a comment. Share the video. And as always, have a great day.